Okay, so sorry that I've been away for a few days or so now. Reason for that is because I've just been trying to relax after the hell that I recently went through at work this past week or so. I'm not going to complain about it too much. I will get into it somewhat, but other than that, just doing a vid that I've been meaning to do for quite a while now, and that is going over how I like to approach all my custom partners. Also, if anyone is going to be entering into that custom character contest as well, this is pretty much what I'm going to be doing that with, is Muyo here. I just think visually, he's my best character. I'm really proud of how he turned out. Also, you're going to notice that the gauntlets are very reminiscent of the Journey to the West costume. And I was going to go with that initially, but it really bugged my OCD that there wasn't a red and gold version. I'm really not sure why there's not, or why we're not able to customize the color on anything to begin with, but anyway.
Greetings.
Want to just go over how I do all my partners. I'll get into a few things here and there when they come up, but other than that, what you see is what you get here, and how I like to approach all of them is I try to give them skills, stats, and super souls that will be useful in anything they're doing. And I have more of a heavy emphasis on damage. Unless, of course, they have a really obnoxiously broken defensive super soul, like, I already forgot the name of it. Power, a lot of power, it's great, that one. A lot of the time, any time I have the opportunity to put that on, I like going with it. Just very useful. Get a bunch of free stats along with it. Doesn't hurt. And how I approach looking at their skills is, does it cost one keybar for a super? And if so, is it easy to combo into? Can I chain it with other moves? That's basically how I go about my skills. In my opinion, they're very underrated, like the energy shot. You can easily combo that after a consecutive energy blast. Or I mean before a consecutive energy blast. I just think not enough people use it. It's nice chip damage. And I try to pick what, in my opinion, are the overall most useful super souls in the game. Whether that be because they have a really cheap and easy exploitable move. Instant example like Raditz here. You give our people a bad name. Anytime I see this, along with Double Sunday, I'm abusing the hell out of it. Because I think Double Sunday is a really decent move, all things considered. It comes out really fast and does decent damage. And you can easily make it even better with that Super Soul on. And pretty much anyone that has a special costume, I have it equipped. Just because I'm lazy and it also saves time on coloring everything. One other thing I'm going to point out, since I have that here in front of me, is if I see Ki Blast Type C, that is, in my opinion, the best stat preset for any of the custom partners. And here's why. You get a very, very small debuff to blast in strikes. And you get a very significant buff to every other stat. It is, frankly, the best one to go with, in my opinion. And the only other one I would recommend doing is Ki Blast Type A. Those, in my opinion, are the best two stat sets to go with. Another running theme you're going to see is Galagun, with you and this entire planet are as good as space dust. Also, yeah, I made Zarbon here look like Captain Planet just for the hell of it. But yeah, if they don't have, hold up. Ugh. Freaking exhausted. I'm yelling a lot right now. I'm gonna go to sleep after I'm done here. But yeah, as I was saying, if they don't have Ki Blast type A or C, just go with the balanced. With the exception of one character I'll get to in a little while here. I want to say it's, by the way, that's also another huge running theme with me. If they have you irritating little pests, equip that. It is so good. Same thing with Consecutive Energy Blast and Sledgehammer. Both are amazing moves and do ridiculous amounts of damage. And what's great about Consecutive Energy Blast is it's useful anywhere. You can use that in quests, and free battles, and PvP, and raids. And it does considerable amount of damage, all things considered. Builds up combos really quickly as well. And I was thinking about changing 18 and Videl back to their Santa costumes, but the bikinis are just always in season in my opinion. So I go with them. Plus, obvious fan service. And again, I like having at least one strike on every single one of these characters, just for utility. Plus, what's nice about the custom partner is in comparison to the, God, I need to go to sleep. Anyway, what's nice about them in comparison to the custom characters is if you go into battle with limitations, it doesn't really affect them at all. Because they have, fixed sets like these. Whereas with custom characters, you essentially need to min-max and play without limitations. And like I was saying earlier, I am very, very cheap when it comes to both supers and ultimates. If it doesn't cost just one key bar to use a super and 3 key bars to use an ultimate, I'm not going to use it. And I ignore stuff that continues to drain other key or stamina, such as I want to say it's Energy Dome. God damn, I need to go to bed. Anyway, Energy Dome from 17, I want to say you can also put that on 16. A lot of the time I just go with Instant Rise, only costs 2 stamina bars, very quick and easy to use. I don't like losing stats, basically, is what I'm saying. Also, you're going to notice that I tend to stay away from a lot of what are temporary buffs. I try to go for something that's permanent all the time if I can. And if I can't, then it's something that's easily procced, I'll go for. Right, here's a good example of what I was talking about. Just go with Ki Blast type A or C whenever you have it. Again, with one exception that I will get into a little bit later on with one of the Broys. And this is a really good Super Soul on Gotenks. I highly recommend using this. I really wish that it had you and this entire planet was good as Space Dust, but this is fine too. And the reason I still have Gallic Gun on him is not only because it is a really good move, you can easily chain that right after a triangle circle knockback. You can also chain it immediately after a quick burst dash. Gallic Gun is just really good and fast in general, so I tend to favor it over Kamehameha or any other super a lot like those two. I'm not really going to comment too much about the colors on my characters either. I went through all of them pretty much picking God damn it, I cannot stop yawning. So I would start with 2 colors and then just go from there. I went through a lot of the different options on every single one of them that I had custom colors on. And I kept going until I thought, yeah, you know what, that looks fine. Really not much else to say aside from that. And like everyone else, I'm still waiting for the new DLC to drop, because I really want those new figures, especially. I'm sure we're going to get a couple of new character skills as well. I think I have a couple suggestions sitting on the back burner too. Right now I'm just using this as a means of taking a small break. Which, by the way, let me go ahead and get into that right now. With work. So before I started, the day after Labor Day, and as expected, that day was complete and utter hell. But to give you a good idea of how obnoxiously busy we were the entire time, the highest I've seen the live queue get is anywhere from 16 to 20. I didn't even clock in yet. We are already sitting at 33, and far worse, I heard that we were at 50 or 60 earlier during that day, which was utterly nuts to me because I'm very shocked that I wasn't called or asked to come in early at all for that day, but believe me, I would not have, because I've also been, like, around that time, I've been spending the past few days or so playing this really awesome game if you're a Mega Man X fan. There's this really kick-ass game called 30XX. It's the sequel to 20XX. I think I've definitely done a few playthroughs of that game. But 30XX, in my opinion, is just so much better. And the art style is, like, top-notch. There's also already this really kick-ass mod where you can use X and Zero. And what's really cool also about that is I got to meet the guy, and I speak with him regularly over on the 20XX and 30XX Discord server, which I recommend. It's fun. I also got to play around in 30XX a bunch recently with a buddy of mine, TF Trevor. Shout out to you, buddy. He makes his own content too, by the way. I recommend going to check him out. But I will be doing a playthrough too of 30XX in the near future. That game is so much fun, man. I cannot wait to see how far along that game is going to evolve, because 20XX as is amazing right now. 30XX is currently in early access. That was the same case with 20XX. It's only going to get so much better. And yes, I am aware that having both Trap Shooter and Consecutive Energy Blast is redundant. Hear me out on this, I just don't think that any of the other moves on here compare. And the other thing is, what's nice about Trap Shooter is it's really easy to cancel. Plus, Consecutive Energy Blast is going to be far more useful for chaining with, allies than Trap Shooter would be. But anyway, that is like my thought process on that. It's a nitpick I have too. It's just I didn't find anything very useful in terms of his supers to use. I definitely was not going to use more than one strike on him, because this might come as a surprise to some of you, but in general, you're going to do so much more damage with blasting. There's just so much you can get away with when you're a blaster. Plus, we have a lot more options as blasters. You have broken and hell moves like Vanishing Ball, Perfect Shot, and Focus Flash, just to name a few. And with Vanishing Ball, you really don't even need ultimates at all. It's obnoxious how good that move is now. Also, one thing I will note on Goku is, yes, it does suck that you're taking more damage with to make this the ultimate final battle, but if you're confident, you know what you're doing, and you're very confident you're gonna do Just tons and tons of damage. It doesn't get much better than it, and your allies get the buff too. So do the enemies, but plus, it doesn't just buff grabs, it buffs everything else, unlike Zodia here. But anyway, this is the other one I would recommend going for if you just want a safer option. That or Thank You Dragon Balls, that's a decent one too. I think those are both more suited for PvP though. And we have Trunks. I want to say it's Dragon Ball Super Broly that has one of the Blast type presets. I'll get into that in a sec here. There's Vegeta. Next up we have Gogeta. I'm just going to quickly go through the rest of these. Honestly, I'm exhausted. God damn, I cannot stop fucking yawning. I really need to go to bed. I don't know why I went into there. Oops. So me personally, I like to be at least decent in every single category across all my custom partners. Unless, again, I can get away with Blast Type A or Blast Type C. Otherwise, I'm just using balanced a lot of the time. 17. And then we have a Super Soul. This is really decent in general to have, in my opinion. Yeah, it sucks that you can't always have the second part procced, but it's going to be really easy for you to get that anyway, since you're always going to have the key recovery on. What's also nice about that too is it doesn't seal supers and ultimates, which I cannot stand. I forget what Super Soul does though. I just think that's such a huge boon. And then finally, we have the special case I wanted to get into here with Dragon Ball Super Broly. So notice he has Ki Blast Super Type A. Since he's so big and easy to get hit with a lot, I went with the safer option, which would give him a little bit more stamina. It also gives him, you know, still a decent amount of Ki. He definitely has more HP. I just feel like he needs both those stats. Because otherwise, yeah, I'm getting a huge buff in blasting. But again, he is so easy to friggin' hit. He's so friggin' huge. A lot of the time when I'm vanishing behind my opponents and I'm trying to break their ultimates, I end up getting hit by their ultimates anyway. Because he's so damn huge. It's annoying. And then both Broly's, I just use this Super Soul. I think it's in general the best one to pick. You get a permanent buff on both of them. Anyway, that's pretty much going to cover it for this vid. Thank you all for watching. Don't worry, I'll have some more stuff coming up in the near future, and I'll see you then. I'm going to go sleep now. Peace.